A little girl looked up at her grandmother and asked, with complete innocence, "Grandma, why do you always smell a little funny?" It wasn't meant to hurt, but for 70-year-old Emma, it did. Emma always kept a tidy home, fresh sheets, polished silver, clean floors. She bathed daily, wore crisp clothes, and never missed her morning routine. So when her granddaughter asked with total innocence, "Grandma, why do you always have that smell?" it shook her. It didn't come from neglect. It came from biology. Aging changes skin, hormones, and the way our bodies handle oils and sweat. And let's be honest, nobody hands you a guidebook for that. Most people never talk about it, but they notice. That is why this conversation matters, because once we understand what is going on, we can fix it. Not with shame or fear, but with care, knowledge, and a little consistency. You deserve to feel fresh and confident, no matter your age. Let's be honest, it can be confusing and frustrating. You shower, change clothes, and maybe even use perfume or deodorant, but somehow that odd smell still lingers, and you start to wonder if other people notice it too. As we grow older, our bodies change in ways we are not always prepared for. One of those changes is in our skin chemistry. We produce different oils, like something called 2-nominal, that mix with sweat and dead skin. Now throw in mobility issues or arthritis, and suddenly reaching those tricky spots becomes harder. It is not about being careless, it is about being human. The good news is that once we know what to do, we can fix it. This video is here to show you how small changes that make a big difference. Let's start small, really small. Behind the ears. Sounds simple, right? But this tiny little area is actually one of the most overlooked spots when it comes to daily hygiene, especially as we get older. You see, right behind your ears are oil glands. These sebaceous glands never stop working, and with age they can produce more oil that mixes with sweat and dead skin. Now, when that mixture settles behind your ears and stays there, it can create a musty, stale smell. It is not about being dirty, it is about being human. Alexander, 79, is someone who prides himself on being neat. Pressed shirts, daily showers, a spritz of cologne. But he kept noticing that his granddaughter would lean away slightly when hugging him. She never said anything mean, but he could feel it. One day, out of curiosity, he asked his daughter if she noticed anything. She gently replied, "Maybe just check behind the ears." Turns out that was it. Alexander had not cleaned that area in years. He washed his face and shampooed his hair, but that little patch behind the ears? Completely forgotten. He started wiping behind his ears each morning with a warm, damp cloth, and the difference was night and day. The odor? Gone. The hesitation from his granddaughter? Gone. What remained was comfort, confidence, and closeness. This area is also important for people who wear glasses. The frame arms sit right on top of the skin behind your ears. They trap sweat and oil. Over time, this buildup creates an even stronger smell. Think of it like food trapped under a lid on a hot day. If you do not clean it regularly, it festers. Cleaning behind your ears is quick and easy. No harsh products are needed, just warm water and a soft cloth. Take a moment each morning or evening, gently wipe the area. If you want to use a mild, non-drying cleanser once or twice a week, that works too. The key is consistency, not intensity. But here is the bigger message. It is not just about the smell. It is about the emotional impact. Alexander told us that after he started this simple habit, he felt lighter. He leaned in for hugs without fear. He no longer wondered, "Do I smell?" That quiet self-doubt faded. And that is what care does. It brings you back to yourself. When we skip these little spots, it is not out of laziness. It is usually just habit. Quicker routines, fewer mirror checks, less flexibility in our shoulders and neck. But when you bring attention to these forgotten places, you bring back presence. So the next time you freshen up, pause for a second. Ask yourself, did I check behind my ears today? It may sound silly, but it matters. Freshness is not about being perfect. It is about knowing where to look. And when you start here, with something this small, you are already on your way to feeling more in control, more confident, and more connected to the people you love. This is a small habit with a big return, and all it takes is a soft cloth, a few seconds, and a little awareness. All right, let's move just a few inches down to the back of your neck, the nape. Now, this might not be a place you think about often, but it's one of those hidden areas that quietly collects odor, especially as we get older. It's tucked right under the hairline, behind collars and scarves, and for most people, it's out of sight, out of mind. Here's the thing, the nape of your neck is a meeting place for sweat, oil, dead skin, and hair product residue. And when you combine all that in a warm, closed-off area, you get buildup, and where there's buildup, odor usually follows. Elizabeth, 76, was always put together. Her clothes were ironed, her hair was always styled. She took pride in staying clean. But she started noticing a faint, sour smell on hot days. It wasn't strong, but it was there. Her first instinct was to wash her clothes more often, change her shampoo, or even switch detergents, but the smell stuck around. It wasn't until her hairdresser gently pointed out some residue near her neckline that it all made sense. She had been missing the nape, just that one spot. She started spending an extra 20 seconds in the shower, using her fingertips to gently scrub the back of her neck, especially after being outside or sweating. And just like that, the smell was gone. The nape is a personal space. It's where people lean in to whisper. It's the spot a grandchild nestles into when giving a hug. It's close, it's intimate, and it's worth keeping clean. If you have longer hair, oils from your scalp naturally run down and settle there. Add in some heat from a scarf or jacket collar and the skin struggles to breathe. Sweat and product residue just sit there, locked in. Most folks wash their face and hair, but skip the bit in between, and that's where the problem hides. Here's what you can do. Use a warm washcloth or your fingers and gently scrub the nape during your shower. You don't need special soap, just make sure to reach it. Rinse well and pat dry. If you've been sweating or wearing layers, consider giving that area a quick wipe midday, especially in the summer. And don't underestimate how this little habit can shift how you feel. Elizabeth told us that once she started caring for her nape, she felt more relaxed during conversations. She was no longer worried about what others might notice. That subtle, nagging insecurity melted away. It's not about being obsessive, it's about being intentional. The nape is a small zone with a big impact. Just like we clean our hands before shaking someone else's, cleaning our neck before sharing a hug is a quiet form of care, both for ourselves and for those around us. So tomorrow morning, when you're in the shower, take a few extra seconds for the nape. It's a small act that brings a sense of peace, presence, and personal pride. Let's talk about folds. And let's be real, it's not always the easiest topic to bring up, but it matters more than most people realize. As we get older, our skin softens, becomes looser, and naturally forms folds around the breasts, around the belly, behind the knees, and under the buttocks. These folds are completely normal. But where skin touches the skin, it creates warmth. Add in a little moisture and very little airflow, and now you have the perfect environment for odor-causing bacteria to grow. It's not about being dirty, it's about biology, and if we ignore these areas, even with daily showers, odor can develop. Patricia, age 72, knows this all too well. She was always neat, clean, and well-dressed, but in the summer months, by the end of the day, she noticed a faint, sour smell. It made her self-conscious. She changed her detergent, bought new clothes, even used extra deodorant. Nothing worked. Then, one day, during a routine checkup, a nurse gently asked, "Have you been drying under your breasts and belly?" That simple question changed everything. Patricia realized she had never really paid attention to those areas after bathing. She started gently patting her folds dry and added a bit of fragrance-free powder afterward. The result? The smell disappeared, the itching went away, and most importantly, her confidence came back. She no longer hesitated to sit close to others, wear her favorite blouses, or lean in for a hug. This experience is far more common than people talk about, because talking about folds feels personal, but it should not be embarrassing. Everyone has them, and giving them the care they need is a small act of dignity. Here's what you can do. After every shower, take the time to gently pat dry all the areas where skin touches the skin. That includes under the breasts, between belly folds, behind the knees, and around the groin. Use a soft towel, don't rub, just press and dry. Wear breathable fabrics like cotton, which allows air to flow. If needed, try a fragrance-free, talc-free powder or even a thin cotton cloth to absorb moisture during the day. And yes, this takes a little more time, but that time is worth it, not just for how you smell, but for how you feel. Clean, dry folds reduce your risk of rashes, infections, and chafing. You'll move more comfortably, sleep more soundly, and step into social situations with peace of mind. Patricia isn't alone. Countless others have shared that once they paid closer attention to their skin folds, they felt a shift, not just physically, but emotionally too. Because taking care of the small things sends a message: I still matter, my comfort matters. This isn't about adding one more thing to your list, it's about reframing hygiene as an act of self-respect. These folds are part of your body, they carry you through your days. Treating them with care is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. So the next time you step out of the shower, take an extra minute, dry those folds, let them breathe. You'll notice the difference, and so will the people closest to you. Clean skin folds are more than just a hygiene tip. They're key to comfort, confidence, and closeness. Let's talk about something that almost no one talks about: your scalp. Not your hair, but the skin underneath. Most people think that when they wash their hair, they are cleaning their scalp too. But the truth is, many folks never really get down to the skin. As we get older, our scalps can produce more oil. Mix that oil with sweat, old hair products, and dead skin cells, and you've got a recipe for odor. It is the kind of smell that builds slowly. You may not notice it at first, but others might. Take Howard, age 68. He always kept a neat appearance, regular haircuts, clean clothes, and a bottle of shampoo in the shower. But during the warmer months, he started noticing a greasy, sour smell. He thought it might be his pillowcase. Then maybe it was his shampoo. But after a chat with his barber, he realized he had never truly cleaned his scalp. He had been washing the hair, not the skin. Once he started using his fingertips to massage the shampoo into his scalp, really getting into those areas like the crown, temples, and behind the ears, the difference was huge. The smell disappeared, his scalp felt fresher, his hair felt lighter, and honestly, he just felt better overall. The scalp is easy to forget. It is covered with hair, and if your hair still looks clean, it is easy to assume everything's fine. But the scalp is skin, and like any skin, it needs attention. Start by being intentional. When you shampoo, take a minute to massage your scalp. Use the pads of your fingers, not your nails, in small, slow circles. Get into the base of the neck, the top of the head, and around the ears. Rinse well. And don't forget about product buildup. If you use gels, creams, or hairsprays, those can stick around and create residue. Make sure to wash them out regularly, otherwise even a clean head of hair can end up carrying odor from what's sitting on the scalp. For folks who wear hats, wigs, or scarves, this becomes even more important. Covering the scalp traps heat and moisture. That combination creates the perfect conditions for bacteria and smells to develop, and if your hair is thinning or cut short, the scalp is even more exposed. That means odor might be easier to detect by those around you. The good news is this: caring for your scalp doesn't require fancy products. You don't need special treatment, you just need consistency and a bit of awareness. Clean scalp, clean scent. And just like other areas of the body we've talked about, this is not only about hygiene, it is about confidence. Howard told us that once he started focusing on his scalp, he felt more open around people. He no longer worried if someone sitting beside him would notice something off. He leaned in closer during conversations. He felt lighter, more at ease. So if you have been wondering why a lingering smell seems to follow you even after a shower, check the scalp. Spend a little time there, clean it with care, rinse it well. It is one of the most overlooked areas, but it makes a big impact. Because feeling clean should not be stressful, and sometimes all it takes is going back to basics: water, soap, fingers, A minute of mindfulness in the shower, and you walk out feeling like yourself again. Scalp care might seem small, but the results, they are personal, powerful, and worth it. Now, here's one that surprises almost everyone: the belly button. Yep, that tiny little spot right in the center of your body. You might not think much about it, but your navel can be a secret source of odor, especially as you get older. The belly button is a little cave. It is a closed-off, warm and dark area that is perfect for trapping sweat, lint, dead skin, and bacteria. And because it is small and hidden, most people forget it is even there. We clean our arms, legs, face, and underarms, but that little pocket in the middle? Often ignored. Liam, 74, noticed a strange smell that he could not explain. It was not his underarms, not his shoes. His clothes were clean, still the odor lingered. He asked his wife if she noticed anything, and gently she asked, "When was the last time you cleaned your belly button?" He paused. He could not remember. Years, maybe? And that was the light bulb moment. He started using a cotton swab with warm water and mild soap to gently clean inside the navel. Nothing harsh, just a gentle touch. Then, he would rinse and pat it dry with a soft towel. Within days, the odor was gone. Completely. If you have a deeper belly button or carry more weight around your midsection, this is even more important. The area can stay moist longer, and that moisture, combined with trapped debris, becomes a breeding ground for odor-causing bacteria. This is not about being unclean, it is about knowledge, and no one teaches us to clean our belly button after childhood. Some people even assume it cleans itself, like our eyes or ears. But it doesn't. A simple routine makes all the difference. Every few days, use a clean cotton swab dipped in warm, soapy water to gently clean inside. Rinse thoroughly. Dry the area completely. Do not leave moisture behind. If needed, use an alcohol-free toner or skin-safe wipe in between showers to maintain freshness. That's it. It takes less than a minute, but the result? You smell better, you feel better, and you avoid the discomfort that comes from trapped buildup. Liam said he felt more confident around others, he no longer worried about odd smells or kept his distance during hugs. That tiny change made a big difference in how he showed up in the world. And that is really what this is all about. Little areas we forget, small habits we skip, and how bringing attention back to those details can change the way we feel day to day. So the next time you hop in the shower, ask yourself, did I clean my belly button today? If not, give it that moment of care. It is a simple thing, but it brings real results. Cleaner clothes, fresher skin, and more ease in your everyday interaction. Let's talk about a place no one wants to talk about. The groin and inner thighs. It's private, sure, but it's also one of the most common sources of body odor, especially as we get older. And yet, for all its importance, this area often gets rushed during daily hygiene routines. Here's the thing. The groin is warm. It's packed with sweat glands. It sees a lot of friction from movement and tight clothing. And because it's so close to the urinary and digestive areas, it can pick up odors more quickly than other parts of the body. The combination of moisture, heat, and skin rubbing together creates a perfect storm for bacteria. And that's when the smell shows up. James, 81, stayed active well into retirement. He walked daily, kept to his routines, and prided himself on staying fresh. But by midday, especially in warmer months, he began to notice a musky scent that wouldn't go away, even after a shower. At first he thought it might be his laundry detergent or maybe his diet, but after ruling out infections with his doctor, it came down to this. He was rushing the wash. He cleaned the area, yes, but quickly, without reaching into the folds, without properly drying. Once James changed his routine, spending a little more time, using mild soap, drying thoroughly, and switching to breathable cotton underwear, he was shocked at how fast the odor disappeared. Not only that, but he felt more comfortable walking, sitting, and even just relaxing at home. So what's the lesson here? Simple. Take your time. Start by washing gently with warm water and unscented soap. Be thorough but not rough. Reach the areas where the thighs meet the groin. Make sure to rinse well and, just as important, dry well. Moisture left behind is what lets bacteria grow. Pat dry with a soft towel. Avoid rubbing, especially if the skin is delicate or prone to irritation. If you tend to sweat a lot, a light dusting of talc-free powder can help absorb moisture throughout the day. Some people also find that moisture-wicking underwear or breathable fabrics make a huge difference. And don't forget the inner thighs. This is a high-friction area. When thighs rub together, especially in warm weather or tight clothes, the skin can get irritated and break down. That opens the door to odor, chafing, and even infection. Taking care of this area isn't just about avoiding odor, it's about comfort. It's about preserving the dignity of being able to move freely, feel confident, and enjoy connection without hesitation. James said he didn't realize how tense he had been until the smell was gone. He stopped worrying about whether others could detect it. He sat closer to friends during lunch, hugged longer, walked into rooms without adjusting his waistband. That's what fresh can feel like. Let's face it, we're taught how to brush our teeth, clip our nails, and maybe wash behind our ears, but no one tells us how to age with hygiene. How to adjust when our bodies change, when mobility shifts, or when old habits stop working. That's why this conversation matters. The groin and inner thighs deserve just as much care as your face or hands. When you give these areas a little more attention, you feel it in your body, in your mood, in your confidence. So tomorrow, or the next time you step into the shower, slow down a bit. Breathe, and give this part of your body the attention it deserves. Because you deserve to feel good, no matter your age. In this video, we walk through the 4 essential rules to protect your retirement money and assets after 70. These insights can make all the difference if you're over 70 or have loved ones entering retirement. This guide will help you protect your retirement money and assets after age 70 through simple, practical steps, from safeguarding your finances to updating outdated legal documents. You'll hear real-life stories, smart strategies, and common mistakes to avoid when it comes to protecting your retirement money and assets after 70. Whether you've already started planning or are just getting started, now is the perfect time to take control. Watch now to learn how to protect your retirement money and assets after 70 and give yourself the peace of mind you deserve. Retirement planning, senior finance, financial protection, estate planning, money tips for seniors. So what do we take away from all this? Simple. This is not about trying to be flawless or perfect. It is about being kind to your body. It is about paying attention to the parts of ourselves that are easy to overlook. Because of those small spots, they matter more than we think. You have learned that odor does not always mean someone is unclean. Sometimes it just means a few areas have been forgotten. But the moment we bring awareness to those places, we open the door to change, not just in how we smell, but in how we feel. Taking that little extra time each day shows self-respect, it shows love. And when we feel cared for, we carry ourselves differently. We sit a little taller, we speak with more ease, we connect with the people around us, without that nagging worry in the back of our minds. You deserve that peace, and it starts with a few small, thoughtful choices. If something in this video made you stop and think, or if you found yourself saying, "I never knew that," we'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment and let us know which area surprised you the most, or what small change you're planning to try. And if you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Share this video with a friend or loved one who might need it, because caring for yourself is powerful and it is something we all deserve at every stage of life.